Comedy isn't just about laughter, it's about reflecting on the world, rebelling against the absurd, and reshaping how we see things. The greatest comedians do more than just tell jokes. They challenge norms, push boundaries, and become the voices of their generation. In this feature, we're diving into the careers of 10 comedians who transformed comedy and the world around them. If that sounds self-important for professional funny people, then clearly you haven't been paying attention. Buckle up because this is going to be a wild ride. First up, Richard Pryor, a man who could make you laugh about things you didn't even want to think about. Pryor's genius stemmed from his willingness to turn his own pain into punchlines, weaving brutally honest stories about race, drugs, and trauma. This was not your grandfather's polite, observational humor. Pryor brought raw vulnerability and unbridled rage to comedy. He held a mirror up to America, reflecting its ugliness and beauty with unflinching honesty. His use of profanity was about authenticity, capturing the raw essence of human experience. Some might argue that Pryor's comedy hasn't aged well, but to dismiss Pryor entirely is to ignore the seismic impact he had on comedy. Pryor gave permission to a generation of comedians, particularly comedians of color, to be themselves on stage. He paved the way for everyone from Eddie Murphy to Chris Rock to Dave Chappelle. Richard Pryor was more than just a comedian. He was a truth-teller, a provocateur, and a revolutionary voice. He forced us to confront uncomfortable truths about ourselves and our society. And that, my friends, is a powerful combination. Next, George Carlin, the linguistic genius, the societal critic. Carlin's routines were meticulously crafted takedowns of everything from politics and religion to censorship and hypocrisy. He didn't just want to make you laugh, he wanted to make you think, to question everything you thought you knew about the world. He was a champion of free speech, even when that speech made people uncomfortable. Carlin's influence on comedy is immeasurable. He took the art form from nightclubs and vaudeville stages into the realm of social commentary. He proved that comedy could be a powerful tool for change. And he did it all while wearing a pair of jeans and a t-shirt. All you need is a microphone, a stage, and a mind that's as sharp as a tack. So the next time you hear a comedian tackling a taboo subject, remember George Carlin. He fought the good fight against censorship. He paved the way for generations of comedians to speak truth to power. Now let's rewind the clock and talk about Lucille Ball. As the star and producer of I Love Lucy, Ball wasn't just funny, she was a force of nature. She redefined what it meant to be a woman in comedy and television. She was a master of physical comedy, her timing impeccable. But Ball's influence extended far beyond her comedic talents. She was a savvy businesswoman, a trailblazing producer who built a media empire. She proved that women could be funny and successful in a male-dominated industry. So, the next time you see a woman dominating in comedy, remember Lucille Ball. She was the original queen of comedy, inspiring generations of funny women. Charlie Chaplin, the silent master who spoke volumes. Let's travel back to the era of silent films, where Charlie Chaplin used physical comedy to become a global icon. Chaplin wasn't just a mime with a funny walk, he was a master of physical and emotional comedy, a true auteur of visual storytelling. Chaplin's films were social satires, sharp commentaries on poverty, inequality, and the human condition. Without uttering a single word, Chaplin conveyed complex emotions and told compelling stories. He showed the world that laughter could transcend language. So, the next time you're watching a silent film, appreciate the legacy of Charlie Chaplin. He was a true pioneer of comedy, a master storyteller. Sometimes the funniest things are said in silence. Lenny Bruce, the martyr of free speech and jokes about toilets. Let's talk about Lenny Bruce, a comedian who pushed the boundaries of free speech. Arrested multiple times for obscenity, Bruce used comedy to challenge every taboo subject imaginable. Sex, religion, government. Bruce had a joke about it, and it probably got him in trouble. He was willing to say what others wouldn't, challenging acceptable discourse. This was a time when you could get arrested for saying "fuck" on stage. But Bruce didn't care. He saw hypocrisy and called it out. He was a champion of free speech, even when it made people uncomfortable. Every comedian who pushes boundaries today owes a debt to Lenny Bruce. He was a true comedic martyr. His legacy continues to inspire generations of comedians. Eddie Murphy, bringing black excellence to Saturday night and beyond. In the 1980s, Eddie Murphy burst onto the scene like a comedic supernova. From his iconic characters on Saturday Night Live to his stand-up specials, Murphy brought a raw, unapologetic style of comedy. This was black excellence personified. Murphy's impact on comedy, particularly for black comedians, cannot be overstated. He shattered stereotypes and paved the way for generations of black performers. Murphy wasn't content with just stand-up, he conquered Hollywood. From 48 HRs to Coming to America, Murphy became one of the biggest movie stars in the world. He proved that black comedy could be just as bankable as anything else. Eddie Murphy was more than just a comedian, he was a cultural phenomenon. He showed the world that black comedy was a force to be reckoned with. His influence continues to be felt today. Now let's talk about Joan Rivers. With a voice that could curdle milk and a wit sharper than a serpent's toothbrush, Rivers broke into the boys' club of stand-up comedy. Rivers was known for her unfiltered commentary and biting observations. No topic was off limits, and no one was safe from her razor-sharp wit. She was a trailblazer for women in comedy, proving they could be just as edgy and hilarious as their male counterparts. Her personal life was as messy and complicated as any stand-up routine. She was a master of self-deprecation, always willing to make herself the butt of the joke. Rivers paved the way for generations of female comics to be bold and unapologetically themselves. She was a true original. Her impact on comedy, particularly for women, is immeasurable. Robin Williams, a comedy tornado with a heart of gold. Robin Williams was as unpredictable as he was brilliant. A master of improvisation, voices, and manic energy, Williams was a comedic tornado. He could go from whispering to shouting in a heartbeat, his facial expressions changing rapidly. But beneath the frenetic energy, there was a heart of gold. Williams genuinely cared about people, and that compassion shone through in his comedy. He could make you laugh until your sides hurt, and then bring a tear to your eye. He was always willing to poke fun at himself and use his platform for important social issues. Robin Williams was a true original, a comedic genius. His legacy continues to inspire. Dave Chappelle, uncomfortable truths and unforgettable characters. Dave Chappelle is a master storyteller with an uncanny ability to blend social commentary with character work and absurdist humor. From Chappelle's show to his stand-up specials, Chappelle has consistently challenged audiences to confront uncomfortable truths. He does it all with a sly grin, making you question whether it's okay to laugh. He's a master of satire, using humor to expose hypocrisy and spark conversations. His sketches have become part of the cultural lexicon. But Chappelle is more than just a sketch comedian. His stand-up specials are filled with insightful observations about race, politics, and the human condition. Dave Chappelle is a comedic force to be reckoned with. His impact on comedy will be felt for generations to come. Bill Hicks, the angry prophet of comedy. Bill Hicks was a passionate, intelligent, and often angry voice who railed against hypocrisy, consumerism, and stupidity. His comedy was not for the faint of heart. He was brutally honest, unflinching in his criticisms of everything from organized religion to political corruption. Hicks's comedy wasn't always easy to digest, but it was always thought-provoking. He made you think, question, and sometimes scream in frustration. But he also made you laugh, because even in his darkest material, there was a glimmer of hope. Though his life was cut short, Hicks's influence on comedy is undeniable. He inspired a generation of comedians to be honest and fearless. He was a true original, a comedic visionary. The legacy of laughter. More than just jokes. From Charlie Chaplin to Richard Pryor and Dave Chappelle, these comedians didn't just make us laugh, they made us think and see the world in a new light. Their tools were simple: a microphone, a stage, and the courage to speak truth to power. Their mission? To make us laugh, but also to make us listen, to challenge our assumptions and expose hypocrisy. Their legacy lives on in every comedian who dares to say what no one else will. They are the giants on whose shoulders a new generation of comedians stand.